Hello everybody. Today's news is that all the lines to Kent are complete, and to mark this occasion we'll take a bit of a tour of some of the lines in Kent and South East London. First we'll get a stopping train from Cannon Street to Dartford. Then we'll get another stopping train from Dartford back into London Victoria. Then an express train from Victoria out into Kent via Maidstone. Then we'll travel around some of the lines in Kent, places like Dover and Canterbury. And then we'll come back into to London via the high-speed line into Stratford. So it's a pretty long trip. So I've put some links in the description to allow you to skip ahead to particular bits of the route that you might be interested in seeing. Now this is the first big self-contained region that I've finished on this map, so I'm pretty pleased to have got it done, and I'm also pretty relieved that it all seems to work quite well. It has raised my credence in thinking that this map is not a kind of fool's errand, but maybe it can be done after all. So I probably won't commentate the whole way through this video, but rather pipe up when there are particular things to say about the area we're in, or what's going on, what you see in front of you. We're coming to the end of our very first leg now. We're going to pull into the Erith Loop where this train will wait, but we're gonna skip over to Dartford and get on a train heading from Dartford into London Victoria via Bexley Heath. Now you notice that at this station and at several other stations we waited for rather longer than you would expect the train to have to wait in order to load. When you see the train doing this, it's because it's waiting for the timetable, as it were. At certain points on each route, as I described in the last video, I'll tell the train to wait for a certain time so it's in tune with the timetable, so all the paths are correct. The reason it happens that trains get there a few minutes before and have to wait is either because there's a recovery time in the official timetable which isn't being used here, or just because the line is slightly inaccurate, so that the train gets there a bit earlier than it perhaps should do. So we're just leaving Lewisham, which is quite a challenging station to build, but it's on a curve. We've had to come a bit compromised with that, but I think it's worked okay. Now we'll be going via the Peckham Rye Denmark Hill line into Victoria. You'll notice there's a London Overground train passing us there. These in fact don't actually run on this route yet. They'll be running on this route from December, but I thought since that's so soon I would go for the December timetable on this route rather than putting the old one on there and then having to change it. So now we're leaving Victoria on a train to Ashford International via Maidstone. This is a very congested part of track. It's two tracks on this this main line out to Bromley South, and it carries 4 express services an hour and 4 slow services per hour. You see that other train at Bromley South, that just come off the same line, so we only just avoid getting held up by that. So it's quite the operation to make sure that everything gets through there without getting held up. So now we're out of London proper. And stopping at Swanley. We're on one of the faster services to Ashford International, so once we get past Maidstone we'll be running through all the small stations there rather than stopping at them. So the other line you can see in shot now is the line from Tonbridge to Strood, which goes through Maidstone West and Maidstone Barracks. We won't be seeing that itself in this video. I tried to come up with a route through Kent which covered as much ground as possible whilst not being ridiculously long, and unfortunately we couldn't get the wedding, but you did at least get to see a train at Maidstone Barracks there. So Bearsted is our last stop before Ashford International, I believe, and the line next to us now is High Speed 1, which carries high speed services and also Eurostar services, although no Eurostar services on this map yet. But we'll be taking a trip in High Speed 1 later, and there you can see a high speed train going significantly faster than us down to Ashford. Upon leaving Ashford International, we'll be joining a different train. This has come from London Charing Cross and is going out to Dover, which is how far we'll take it. At some point soon, I think you'll see one of the high-speed trains passing on the other track. So these high-speed trains, so there you go. These high-speed trains travel on the high-speed line through to either Ebbsfleet or Ashford, and then they join the regular lines in order to provide fast services to places like Dover, Canterbury, Ramsgate. And as I say, we'll be on one of those ourselves later from Faversham to Stratford. Now we've now left Dover on a different train. This is the train from Dover to one of the London terminuses, I forget which, via Faversham. Now what happens in real life is that this train will join up with a different train at Faversham. This train won't be doing that, and I'll be explaining why that is exactly in the next video. That's one of the things I've got marked down to talk about next time. Now we've been on one of the fast versions of this service, which doesn't stop at any of those tiny places. And upon arriving at Canterbury, we skip across to Canterbury West and get on the last leg of this high-speed service from London St Pancras to Margate via Canterbury. As you can see, not travelling especially high speed on this particular part of the route. So we'll leave this at Ramsgate and hop onto this train that's waiting. This is a train from Ramsgate to I always forget which London terminus these trains are going to. Is this one going to Victoria? Yeah, that seems right. I think this one's going to Victoria via Gillingham. And we'll be travelling on this as far as Faversham, where we'll switch for a high-speed service. So you can see again, we're waiting almost 5 minutes here at Whitstable. This is just an occasion where it happens that the train went a little bit faster over this route than in the timetable, probably just because it's only so accurate this map can be. It can never be exactly how things are. So the train just has to wait for 4 minutes at Whitstable in order to get in with the timetable. So here we are at Faversham. That other train arriving there is the one we were on from Dover to Canterbury. But we've skipped across to this nice blue high-speed train, which is a train from Faversham to London St Pancras, which stops at quite a lot of places in Kent. It doesn't really become a high-speed service until it gets past Gravesend. Until then, it really just follows the pattern of the stopping services. At Sittingbourne there you saw the branch line to Sheerness. I don't believe there was a train there that you could see, but you'll have to take my word for it that that service is operating. train to the right there at Gillingham is in a turnback siding, which just allows you to keep the platforms clear in between its journeys. I believe that's what happens in real life with that particular train, which is why I've done that. Train waiting at Strood is the one that's come from Maidstone Barracks, Maidstone West, which we saw before when we were going through Maidstone. That provides a connection for Maidstone passengers onto the high-speed line. So we're approaching Gravesend, and after we've been through Gravesend and Ebbsfleet, you'll notice that our speed increases significantly because we join the high-speed 1 line, which is the dedicated high-speed line which these trains and the international trains travel over. And so we're going to run from here into Stratford. We're not going to go all the way into St Pancras simply because the last leg is underground and not very interesting. So we'll just run into Stratford and sit at Stratford for a few minutes to watch some trains go by there and then call it a day. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this tour of Kent and that you'll tune in next time.